Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new season. Here we are at Oulton Park for week 1. Not my favourite track in the world. I know loads of people like it, but for some reason, me and Oulton Park just don't really get along. I make my thoughts known on it on a regular basis, I think, but I've done a track idea anyway, so hopefully it will help some of you guys out. And if it does, please remember to hit the like button just below the video. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe as well. Right, let's get straight into it. First up then guys, the weather. Track is a lovely 22 degrees, and as always, same as last season, the date and time set to what the official sessions are going to be set to this week. Onto the setup, we're using the favourite setup, as you guys will know from last season. 54% brake bias, minimum tyre pressures all round, plus 5 on the SPO, 8 on the anti-roll bar, and 7.9 litres of fuel for qualifying, and 11.8 litres of fuel for the race. As always, guys, I do like to change the setup up in the week. So if you want to come by the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/BenEvs, there's a link in the description to that. And I'll tell you what my current setup is that I'm currently using. Okay then, guys, the lap I'm going to show this week is a 150.251. If you want the B lap and O lap files, they're on my Discord. There's an invite link to the description in that if you want to join and grab those. As well as a setup file if you need that as well. Okay then, here we are, crossing the start-finish line, coming down towards turn 1. Slow it down, pause it here. So we're going to stay in 4th gear. And the brake marker is when we get alongside the edge of this advertising banner over here. So if I go to the cockpit, you will see just as we get up alongside it, this is where we come off the accelerator and start the brake. Not very much braking needed here, so I'm about 40% or so. As we turn the car in towards, we're going to take a real load of curb here. I stay in 4th gear. Some people drop the 3rd a little bit just to get that extra rotation through the corner. A lot of the times I do come into here in 4th gear and I run wide and take the off track. If you stay in 4th gear, you've got to be careful of the off track on the exit, which is why most people drop the 3rd and then go immediately back up to 4th again. But for ease, I just like to stay in 4th gear most of the time. If I go to chase, you will see as we turn the car in, we're going to take a load of curb here and a little bit of the grass too. I said if you're staying in 4th gear, back on the power, just be careful at this exit. You can run on this grasscrete, or whatever it is, over here, and run really wide. But if you do run onto it, you will get an off track, so bear that in mind for qualifying. But if you do mess up turn 1, you can take all of this on the outside and carry on at a reasonable pace as well. Okay, coming down towards the tricky turn 2. Keep the car on the left, and we're going to bring the car to the right, avoiding this curve, and then we're going to keep the car on the right hand side. And then just as we hit this, as you can see, the road dips down here. As we go into the dip, we're going to hit the brakes. Again, not very much braking needed here, but it is quite a long braking zone as you turn into the corner. I think I only brake at about 25% or so. I should. I go up to about 30%. We turn the car in. Not very much braking. I'm going to drop the car in the 3rd or not. No, not on this lap. Okay. Okay, in this particular instance, I stay in 4th. On the earlier laps, when the tyres are cold, drop the car in the 3rd gear and then go back up to 4th again. But on this particular lap, I stay in 4th gear all the way through. Turn the car in, as you can see. The apex of the corner, you can see where these blobs of white are, and you really want to be apexing in the corner where these curves turn in to these singular solid red and white lines. Quite tricky to see from the cockpit, but once you get the line right, should be okay. So turning the car in. At this point, I normally drop the car the 3rd if I was on cold tyres or needed some extra rotation through the corner, but in this particular instance, we keep it in 4th. Hitting the apex of this corner, just as the curve changes. And then as soon as we apex, we're immediately back on the power. You just want to be a little bit careful of the exit here. I don't think I run too wide. You can use this little bit of curb at the end. I don't on this particular occasion. But you can use this. You can get on this curb without getting an off track. But as soon as you run onto this grass crete here, you will get an off track. You can use this, but make sure you're back on the tarmac by the time you get to the end here. Okay, keeping the car to the right-hand side of the track. We're going to go up in the 5th gear. Right on the right-hand side of the track. Turn the car in. No brakes needed, but it is a lift through this corner. You see the car gets a little bit slidey, and we sort of get down to about 50% power before getting back up to full throttle again. On cold tyres, this is quite a tricky corner. There's still no brakes needed, it's just more of a lift. Unfortunately, it's not flat out at the moment. Although I'm sure you probably could take it flat out if you really did want to risk it, but it's not worth it in this case. Okay, probably my favourite corner on the track. I like this one for some reason. The brake marker is this little kink in the road here. So you can see where the kink in the road is and how the road changes. We're in 5th gear. As we come up towards it, we're going to hit this and we're going to hit the brakes. You know, we are pretty much bang on there. Where this little kink in the road is, and as the road changes colour and the camber changes here. And we're going to drop the car all the way from 5th into 2nd. And as you can see, it's quite a hard braking zone. I'm pretty much braking at 75% here. Braking all the way down from 5th into 2nd. Turn the car in. We're going to keep the car tight on this corner all the way around it. You see, all the way around. Feathering the throttle a little bit before then getting back to 100% power when I'm feeling confident that we're not going to run off the road on the exit. Using all this curb at the end. Let me just show this corner again in cockpit. As we come up towards it, we're going to hit the brake markers. We're going to go from 5th down into 2nd. There's pretty much a coast of the car and feather the throttle around this corner. Keep it tight all the way around. Then as you can see, oh, I've gone back a bit too far. As we turn around, as the track kind of gets darker is when I get back to 100% throttle. So we're about midway through the corner. And then as we run into this part of the track, we're back to 100%. And then drive out through the corner. Using all this exit. And then up towards the first chicane. Okay. Now, this is probably my most hated corner on the track. Probably one of the reasons I don't get along with Oulton Park. Even though people seem to like it for some mad reason, but it's beyond me. If you want to leave a comment down below the video, please do. But me and this corner are never going to get along. Okay, we're going to keep the car in 4th gear at 100%. Keep the car to the right-hand side of the track. Now the brake marker is where this bit of white roady bit, whatever this is, but here starts. I do the cockpit view first. We come up towards it. We're going to turn in toward, as you can see, we're already turning the car in. We're going to try and take as straight a line through here as possible. We're going to hit the brakes here. Not very much braking, but it's quite a long braking zone. You're pretty much on the brakes from this point. Only lightly though, to this corner here. So you're braking all the way through it. We're going to drop the car in the 3rd gear. And then we're going to be really aggressive across this curb. And then once we're across this curb, we're going to drop the car in the 2nd. As you can see, I'm still braking at 40%. So it's really, really long braking zone. 40%. And then as we start turning towards this corner is where we come off the brakes. Turn the car on the right, just avoiding the tyre barrier. And then as soon as we pass this corner, we're immediately back on the power again. To drive out of the corner, taking this little bit of curb on the left. It's really important that you They were really aggressive across this first bit of the curb, and you're trying to take as straight a line across it as possible. You can even take more than this. You can take more across here, even more than I have. But as you can see, I'm pretty much taking a straight line across it. Down into second, really aggressive across here as well. As you can see, I am pretty much just avoiding the tyres there. As we drive off across that curb, and then pretty much back to 100% power. Really want to focus on the exit of that chicane rather than the entry, because the exit will give you a much better run down this straight, where a lot of the attacking from behind is going to come from, or if you get a good exit out of the chicane, you'll be able to attack the person in front of you. Okay, going down towards the second chicane, we're going to bring the car to the left hand side of the track. The brake marker is sort of, I look at the 50 board and I brake slightly before it, but if you have a look where the car is on the track here, I'm pretty much halfway between the 50 and the between the 50 and the 100 meter board. If you go to the cockpit, you can see I'm just braking just before it. You can brake at the 50 meters, and I'm sure some people do, but it makes the braking a lot harder. But if you brake later, then you can obviously gain a couple of tenths if you need to. I'm already braking at 65% here. Okay, we're going to drop the car down into second gear. Again, we're going to miss this first tyre barrier. Again, really close. Just want to be really careful going through here, because you do not want to lose any wheels. Precision is the word I'm looking for, I think. Still in second gear. And then take the curb here as well. Again, missing this tyre barrier. Precision again. The thing you want to note on the exit of this corner is to keep the car as far to the left hand side as you possibly can, because this will set up this next corner nicely. You can see I'm not using all this, and I'm keeping the car as far to the left as I can, and also then bringing it back round to the left. I'm gonna go up into third gear. Now I go up into third gear. This is not actual. This shift up from second into third gear isn't actually on the rev limiter, but I shift up early into third gear. As we take loads of the curve across here, as you can see, I've got a little bit of a lift here, but if you do it right on hot tyres, I probably shifted up a little bit early, to be honest, but if you do the shift up from second into third gear, this corner can be flat out on when the tyres are nicely warmed up. On this occasion, I've had a little bit of a lift through there. Again, watching the off track if you need to use this grasscrete over here. But that corner can be flat out if you do it right. And I do it right sometimes, just on this occasion I didn't. Okay, up in towards this double right hander even. We're going to take this little bit of curb on the left hand side. We're going to keep the car as far to the left hand side as we possibly can. As I said, this extra room on the left really counts before we start to turn the car in. I haven't really got a brake marker here. I kind of use the bend in the road and this little bit of where the track changes colour. But mainly, I'm just, as I come across this left hand bend and I'm keeping the car to the left, when we hit this bend is where I'm braking. There's not much brake needed. As you can see, I'm off the throttle. I'm barely at 20% here. Before then, I'm off the brake. So it's not much brake needed at all. I hardly use anything. Keeping the car in fourth gear. Do not hit this curb here. If you hit the curb, it will unsettle the car and you'll be in this wall over here. Or at least you will lose a ton of speed. As you can see, I'm really feathering the throttle through this first corner. So we're on the brakes, avoiding this inside curb, and then we're feathering the throttle. 75 down, 50, before I feel confident enough to get back on to 100%. Using this curb on the left hand side. This little lip here, you gotta be careful. This when you're in the cockpit of the car. this little lump over here, you think the track kind of goes down this way. But this has caught me out a few times. Last season when I was, not last season, the season before when I was learning this track myself. This lump in the road was catching me out, and I was kind of running off the track here. A little bit wide. Just be mindful of that. Takes a little bit of practice, but I'm sure you guys will get it. We come down the run down towards the last corner. Now the braking marker for this I use is the change in colour of the road. As you can see a bit closer. You can see where the track gets a little bit dirty here. As soon as we hit this is where we're going to brake, and we're going to go down from 4th gear down into 2nd. Go to the cockpit, you will see as we come up towards it. Car right on the left hand side of the road. We're going to hit this dirt patch and we're going to get off the accelerator on the brakes. Quite a hard braking zone. As you can see, I'm up to about 75% braking here. Down into 2nd. We turn the car in. Little feather of the throttle. Cutting this curb. Cutting this curb before we get back on the power. 100%. Using all the exit. And then we're going to go up towards the start-finish line. There we have it then, guys. There's the track guide done for this week. Again, if this helps you out, please remember to smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel as well.
50.97. .25.